Okay, so let's add some more details. We are still in the idealized situation where Earth is an aquaplanet. We haven't considered the declination of the moon's orbit with respect to the equatorial plane of Earth and so on. So what do you get? You get tidal ranges on a monthly time scales, which are basically differences between the high tides and the low tides. Now we have to consider all three of them, the sun, the moon, and the Earth. And syzygy is when they are all aligned. So you have the moon, Earth, and sun aligned. And when they're in quadrature, that means moon is, let's say, at the pole, sun is at the equator, or the other way. So they are at 90 degrees, which means they tend to cancel the tidal forcing from each other, right? The other one, right? So here it is. When they are in syzygy, you have moon on the other side, so it is reflecting sun's rays, and people can see the moon completely. We call it the full moon. And when the moon is on the same side as the sun, the other side is lit up, the sun side is lit up, and we're seeing the dark side of the moon, obviously. Some of you may know what we mean by the dark side of the moon, right? Famous song. So you have new moon and full moon, during which you have constructive interference, and you have other situations where moon and the sun are in quadrature. So the first quarter moon, when the moon is here and the sun is over there, so you are seeing a quarter of the moon. And the third quarter moon, so you're going from new moon, first quarter, full moon, third quarter, back to new moon, right? So what happens when there is full constructive interference between the tidal forcing from the moon and the sun? When they are in syzygy, you get spring tides. So new and full moons give you the greatest tidal ranges during the syzygy. Spring tide has nothing to do with the season spring. It comes from the word springen, which means jump. I don't know, it may be German. I'm just pronouncing it in my own way. And neap tides are when the moon and the solar lunar and solar tidal forcings are in quadrature. So you get the lowest tidal range on a monthly tidal cycle, right? At the first quarter and third quarter moon, you get neap tides because the sun and the moon are in quadrature, and you get spring tides during the other times. So here, look at the phases of the moon. I think all of you already know that we always see the same side of the moon, because the rotation of the moon around its axis and the period of rotation around the Earth are the same. So it's almost like a geosynchronous orbit, so it shows us the same side as it keeps going around. It's gravitationally trapped to Earth, so we always see the same side of the moon. Some satellites have landed on the other side and they've found frozen ice, etc., etc. So here we are looking at the nomenclatures associated with the phases of the moon. You have the new moon, you have a waxing crescent. So you get to first quarter. Then you have a waxing gibbous, which means a bulge. Then you get to full moon. Then you get waning gibbous and the third quarter. And then you get waning crescent and get back to new moon. Okay, these are the phases of the moon, and the monthly tidal phases are related to phases of the moon. Waxing crescent, moon moving from new to first quarter, waxing gibbous, waning crescent. You saw the figure. That's what they are. So since lunar tidal forcing is important, we have to know the phases of the moon and how they affect the tidal forcing. You have seen a lot of movies, and the general nomenclature or descriptive term like loony. Somebody is loony means he's a bit loose. Comes from the moon. Does full moon affect people? The werewolves and all these stories? People have said that just like they cause tides, they can also move body fluids and affect us, etc. No real scientific evidence. Nonetheless, if you feel a little crazy during the moon, then you may want to check it out.